Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Project Maestro, the series where I create a portable video game console using a Raspberry Pi computer. Now, in this episode, I will be using a breadboard, which is this thing, to prototype and create a controller for the system. Basically, this thing acts as a makeshift circuit board that I can plug components into to prototype and create a circuit, which I will eventually be attempting to integrate into the system as a controller. So I have a bunch of little buttons and stuff that I will show momentarily, and I'm going to try and hook it up, see if this thing works, see if I can make a controller effectively. Alright, let's see what I can do. Alright, so I have created just a little sample circuit from memory. My only experience with breadboarding is from a class I took in high school. So, I'm a little bit rusty, but from what I can remember, this is the basic concept. So, a little rundown of breadboards is that this is a little power supply, and it has these rails. This red line means positive, blue line is negative, so it completes a circuit. If you follow it, kind of red line, it goes to this wire, then it goes to that resistor. This resistor, then it goes up to the light, then it goes down through the button, up, and then down to negative, and then back through. Now, I haven't tested this yet, but I'm about to. So theoretically, if I push this little button right here, it should turn on this little light. And here's hoping it works. Oh yeah, look at that. So if you see, if I hold down the button, it turns on the light. If I unpress it, it turns it back off. So this is good. At least the board's working, and that my skills are at least somewhat in the ballpark of being right, so that's always good. Fortunately, this is by far the easiest part of what I'm going to be doing, but you know what? It's a start, so I'll take it. Alright. Okay, so I've made a basic little circuit with buttons outlining the controller. So there's 10 buttons here. 4 are D-pad buttons for the A, B, X, Y, and then 2 are like start and, where's my finger? There it is. Start and select. So, theoretically, I've hooked this all up. I mean, not in the most efficient of manner, but you know what? It gets the job done. So, if I press these buttons, it should turn on a corresponding light, which it does. So, that works, and that is a good base point to start attaching these buttons in a circuit to the Raspberry Pi, which should be a whole heck of a lot of fun. Yep. What up, boo? Alright, and welcome back. It's been a bit since, well, I mean, it's been like a second for you, but for me it's been a minute. I have removed the LED lights, and I've replaced them with this cable. It's a ribbon cable. It's a female to male jack. It fits into the breadboard here, into the circuits for each of the buttons, and it goes to these corresponding pins, and these pins are specific. I chose these specifically because they are general purpose pins used for various general purpose appliances such as a controller. And I found that out by just finding the pinout for the Raspberry Pi. So now all what's left is to hook this up and set up the controller. Man, if this works on the first try, I don't know what I'll do with myself. I mean, it most definitely won't, but if it does, that's a bonus, So, yeah, we'll see what happens. So, I've hooked everything up, and a surprise to absolutely no one, it does not work. It does not want to configure the buttons. I don't know if it just doesn't read them, or if I missed something up, or if it's going, most likely answer is that it's going to be a lot more complicated than what I made it out to be. So, yeah, very fun. So, I will do some more research and try to figure it out. So, yep, that's the plan. Hello again. Welcome back. So for you, it's been about a second since that last clip that you just saw, but for me, it's been about a month and a half. Lots happened, lots changed. That whole method I was doing before, it was I was probably going into it a bit too fast, didn't really know what I was doing. But I've learned a lot in that last month and a half. I've, uh, as you can see, I got the regular OS on the Raspberry Pi. I learned basic Python coding, and I just wanted to take it back to basics a bit, to try and, figure out how to actually, program buttons to work with the Pi using the GPIO pins. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Also, I got COVID, so that's kind of fun. But no school, so, more time to work on this, I guess. Anywho's, what I've been working on is this basic circuit that I made. It's just two pins. One's going to I'll show that in a second. It's basically a circuit that goes from a resistor, from a positive end to a resistor to an LED to the negative end or the ground. And I have them connected to these pins. The red wire is connected to a ground pin, and the brownish wire is connected to one of the many GPIO pins, GPIO pin 17 to be exact. And by doing a little Python programming on this little 5-inch display, which is so much fun to use, I coded a basic program. So whereas it outputs the GPIO pin to be true for 1 second and then for false, basically turning on the GPIO pin. In this case, what it'll do is turn on that LED for 1 second and then it'll turn it off. So if I have this little wireless keyboard here. If I press F5, which is the run button, it'll theoretically turn this LED on for a second. So let's see, and press, and there we go. See that? That was pretty cool. So yeah, that's what I learned in this time period. Now, this might not seem like much, but eventually I'll figure out how to do all this for buttons for the controller. All of this is to make the controller, which is proven to be by far the most difficult part of this whole venture. So yeah, this is probably going to be the last part of this video because this video has been in the making for about a month and a half. So this is a little update on what I'm doing, and hopefully everything will work out soon. So thanks for watching. Sorry if this video is a little bit odd. It's just, yeah, it's been a bit of a gap since the last recordings. But hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time I see you. Goodbye. Okay, surprise. Did I scare you? It's not actually the end of the video. I just want to come in real quick to say I did it. I actually did it. I accomplished it. I know this looks terrible right now, but after I figured out, how to make a circuit with the Raspberry Pi, I just kind of did this. I had to install a separate piece of software called GPIO Next onto the Pi, but it was really easy to install and it just worked, and I got to actually program all this. So it's hard to see, but if you look straight down, you can see, where's my finger? There it is. Those 4 buttons are up, down, left, right. Those are the trigger buttons. Those start and select, and then A, B, X, Y, other triggers. So it's a controller. It's a game controller, and it's all programmed up. It looks terrible right now, but this is just prototype. So yeah, let me just show it to you real quick. So I've Super Mario Brothers. Let me just press the A button to select it. Right. It's loading. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Oh, this took so long. This is what is it? What did I say earlier? A month and a half in the making. All right. And then so it just, yeah. This might get copyrighted. Actually, probably not. My channel's too small. But look, I can like press the right trigger and it like moves. I mean, trigger, the left button, left and right. And then I can press, no. I'm supposed to press A to jump. But you know what I mean. It works. Like, they all work. All the buttons work. Like, look. Look, see? I'm jumping with the controller I made. It works. Everything's great.